Okay, we are here in Mindolo in the Nkana constituency, Kitwe district, Copperbelt province, and I'm privileged to bump into Honorable Macmillan Imbao. He's the councillor for Rokana Ward in the Nkana constituency in Kitwe. Good afternoon, Honorable Macmillan Imbao. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. Natidap, you okay?
I'm very fine, thank you.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Okay, this is a very interesting, rare such opportunities are. Without wasting so much of the time, let's get started. Honorable Macmillan Mbao. I'm going to start with the first question, which is, what's the biggest problem in Kitwe which people complain about? And if you were elected as a mayor, I beg your pardon, mayor of Kitwe 2026, if elected, what would you do about that problem or to find a lasting solution?
Thank you so much. Like you have said, yeah, I'm aspiring to as a candidate, for Kitwe District Mayor. I think, given the opportunity to head, Kitwe as a district, we have outlined actually a lot of things that want to come out.
Okay.
But before that, let me just try to explain many other problems that Kitwe as a district is faced with. Number one, we have got problem of garbage collection.
Okay.
As you are aware that I'm also a councillor at the same time.
Yes.
And, in our quest to serve the people of Kitwe, we have achieved a lot as a council. And we have ended up even buying machinery to assist into garbage collection. But nothing has really changed.
Okay.
Nothing much has really helped. This is why I think and feel that through my leadership we will be able to achieve that and make sure that we make Kitwe cleaner and greener.
Okay.
Making sure that all the markets there's no garbage piling the way we have witnessed at the Sokole market. We'll make sure that in all the bus stations there's no indiscriminate disposal or littering of garbage, because then our slogan is, you generate your own waste, you need to manage it, and we'll make sure that we effect our 4-point plan, to be able to make sure that we combat the issue of garbage piling in the entire Kitwe district.
Okay.
Secondly, we have issue of sewer.
Okay.
Believe you me, Nkana Water is in the office of a council, and we are partners, we are stakeholders who work hand in hand to make sure that our people receive a service. And prior to that, you must be aware that our people are paying to Nkana Water to be able to be given safe drinking water, as well as service, the sewer lines. And as it approaches, the rainy season, we experience, places like Buchi, places like Mindolo, places like Nkana West, places like Uzakile, it's a mess.
Okay.
It is really a mess. So as a council, once we are voted into office, I become mayor of Kitwe. I'll make sure that we have serious engagement with Nkana Water and see to it that this problem comes to an end.
Okay.
This problem has emanated, with the fact that the design of these households where I've mentioned were designed in such a way that they were only able to accommodate few people, or then the plan was bachelors that could go and work in the mines. But now families have grown, population is increased, and all that. So you find that a facility that should be able to accommodate 3 people is accommodating 9 people.
Okay.
So that goes to tell us that we need to answer back. In answering back, what do? We will make sure that we supplement government's effort. As you are aware, already we have in Buchi and part of Mindolo, where pipes have been changed from the 6-inch pipes to 8-inch pipes. So that gives us hope that sewer blockages is going to come to an end. When I come into office, we'll make sure that we work hand in hand with China Henan to expedite works and make sure that we give a proper service to our people to end issues to do with, sewer blockages. Then the other thing, I would touch on issues of employment. As a Kitwe as a district, we have got a youth that only thinks about finishing school and going direct to work in the mines. The mines have been revamped. In Kitwe, we're talking about Mopani, we're talking about KCM now. It was almost gone under liquidation if you talk about KCM. But today we have got a very committed president in the name of President Hakainde Hichilema, who is so committed to making sure that people have a share, a fair share of the natural resources of this country. So when I come in as mayor of Kitwe, I will make sure that we diversify the economy of Kitwe as a district. How do we intend to diversify the economy of Kitwe as a district? We'll make sure that we utilize the industrial yard. Industrial yard has been constructed by CEC to make sure that we introduce programs that our youth should be able to, engage in. By so doing, they'll be able to earn a living. Why? Because then they'll be employed, in such. So when I sit in as mayor of Kitwe, we'll make sure that number one, the land rates and the ground rates that CC is supposed to pay towards the industrial yard are reduced, to acceptable levels that will enable equally the CEC to enter into an agreement with us as a council to bring down the rentals for the stores there at industrial yard, and encourage, take an opportunity into the transport sector. We have got a lot of trucks that are passing through Kitwe. Each and every truck that goes to Tanzania, goes to Angola, goes to, even Uganda, they pass, all of these people, they pass through Kitwe. So we are going to make sure that we encourage the truckers, to be able to establish offices at industrial yard. Those offices will require office orderlies. Those offices will require, people to be pushing the lawnmowers, keeping the environment clean. Those offices will need drivers. Those offices will need, whatever pangati, it will need a lot of people. So our people, instead of thinking in one way of trying to get a slot in the mines, we should be able to have people that will get keen interest, take keen interest into joining the industrial yard. So this is why we're saying we'll diversify not only the economy of Kitwe, but even the thinking. Because then we engage youths and we create a favorable environment, for them to find, something to do. So those are the plans amongst many other plans that we have as a district. Immediately, we are ushered into office and I'm voted for as mayor of Kitwe. Why? Because I'm dedicated and I'm experienced, to that effect, and we'll make sure that we work together and engage the community, more especially on the issue of garbage. Kitwe does not look clean, as we talk of now. Why? Because then if you enter Kitwe and see just equally the buildings, the way they appear, they are very dirty. We want to work, hand in hand with the building owners, and we'll pass deliberate bylaws in the council, including all the councillors. We'll sit them down and explain to them on how our vision is, as we move forward to service the people of Kitwe, that we need deliberate bylaws that will compel, building owners to be able to paint their buildings so that they can be able to beautify the frontage. Immediately you enter into Kitwe, it will give that impression that you got just littering, something anyhow is not required. But to that effect, we are also going to formulate bylaws that will, compel people not to be throwing, litter anyhow. And like I explained in my 4-step point plan, is that we'll make sure that we engage. The problem that we have now, there's no engagement between the community and and the council. I think a precedent is trying to be set. Like you are aware, it's all over social media that someone was arrested along Kitwe Ndola, Dio Carriageway, who was throwing garbage indiscriminately. And we are going to make sure that once I enter into the office, we expedite that and we make sure that we take that seriously to be able to make sure that would-be offenders, those who will be found in conflict with the law in context of indiscriminate disposal of waste are brought to book so that we can deter would-be offenders. At the end of the day, you will discover that we are going to have a cleaner and a greener Kitwe, habitable for each and every resident.
Yes. I'm still talking to Honorable Macmillan Imbao, a councillor and head of Rokana Ward in the Nkana constituency, and now aspiring as mayor of Kitwe on the UPND government, the New Dawn government. Now let's talk about the New Dawn government, the UPND, a government that was ushered into power in 2021. what are some of the achievements and success stories, and maybe highlight a bit of challenges that you can point to that have been initiated by the New Dawn government headed by the UPND and President Hakainde Hichilema?
Thank you so much. Let me start with free education. The UPND government, under the leadership of His Excellency the President Hakainde Hichilema, has quite achieved a lot of things. You know, let us give credit where it is due. I will start with free education. We used to have situations where, you know, parents out there had challenges into just scouting for school fees to go and pay, you know, for the learners, starting from grade 1 going to grade 7, from grade 7 going to grade 12. So it was giving headache to our parents. Here is a president that came, that cares for the Zambian people, that cares for each and every child that you see. He introduced free education. Free education policy was introduced in 2021 immediately. But imagine that implementation started in 2022. So that goes to show that a policy needs time for it to get into effect. Because then you need to formulate the policy. You need to sit down and do an evaluation of that policy and make sure that the framework is drawn properly on how best that policy is going to work. Today we are enjoying, because you and me, we have got children now who are into government schools and they are learning for free. There's no any parent who would come on podium or even on social media to say, I do not have money to pay for my child, unless you just want your child to be in private school. And for those that would want their kids to be in private school, it is out of their wanting, you know, to have they've got one reasons why they want to, you know, their kids to be in private school. And for that matter, I'm sure they have already planned, you know, for such kind of an, you know, an arrangement. But for a common Zambian, a common marketeer on the market, a common miner, a common office ordered somewhere, a common human being that is able to have a child should not, they're not complaining about taking their kids to school, because President Hakainde Hichilema has taken care of that. And I think it's high time we started applauding the head of state for that great initiative, which other countries, I think, they're copying now. Look at Malawi. They came to Zambia.
And also considering the feeding programs in school.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. Apart from just that, the president thought, after introducing free education, he said, no, this free education, we are going to have a lot of learners coming into school. And today, go in schools and see. We have recruited thousands, you know, captured thousands of these learners who are benefiting from the free education. The president said, no, we cannot be able to send, we can't send these kids to school without providing food for them. He introduced the feeding program. You go in schools, they have built structures where, you know, they're able to feed their learners from, such that a learner, there's no need where if it's break time, a learner has to go back home to go and eat, and then, because then that, you know, used to disturb, you know, their learning. Here is a president that thought that these learners at times could get sick, and there are hospitals there are clinics that have been introduced in schools. Apart from that, he thought and said, these learners who are coming, you know, in numbers, enrolling in these schools towards free education, where are they going to get teachers? He employed 30,000 teachers. And you have heard now, there's a recruitment going on where we're going to recruit 2,000 more, you know, plus of our teachers who are going to take care of our learners and teach them, you know, what they're supposed to learn in school, so they can be responsible and better citizens. Because a country without education, believe you me, it's a country that is doomed. And the New Dawn government has worked tirelessly so hard to make sure that you know, that is catered for, and that our learners are able to have a dignified environment where they are learning from. And there's a coming of CDF. This CDF is now going to 40 million. Believe you me, it has already done wonders. Councillor, you know, for Okanawan. What have we done? We have seen that a lot of pupils have come in numbers. Okay, we have extended and expanded the ablution blocks to accommodate all the learners to be able to have proper sanitary issues. Apart from that, we have put up a tank, because the guy explained, issue of water used to be a problem. We thought outside the box and said, we are going to drill a borehole, we are going to sink, you know, a pump, and then pupils who have water 24/7, because then passing rate used to be, you know, affected. It was down, like at Nkana Secondary School. The passing rate was below 50%. But if you go there today, you find it's a different story altogether. What led to the passing rate to be very low is for the fact that immediately teachers discover that there's no water, our learners used to be sent away into their various homes. Why? Because then we've got girl child that have got those monthly sicknesses and stuff. So hygiene was compromised, and we didn't want, you know, our learners to get sick, you know, from these communicable diseases that can be avoided due to issues of water. We erected a pump there. You know, we sank a borehole, there's a pump, there's a tank, everything is there. There's water 24/7. Go there at the school and ask the headmaster, the head teacher. She will tell you that now the school passing rate is over 80%.
Okay.
Why? It's because of those concerted efforts that are coming from the. This is why we need people that understand the vision of the head of state. The president means very well for this country, and it's incumbent upon us that are representing him, you know, on certain forums, on certain positions, to make sure that we use CDF prudently to benefit the people on the ground. Secondly, I will talk about issues to do with the mining sector. The mining sector has been, I mentioned about KCM. I also mentioned in Rwanda. I mentioned about Mingomba, which the president soon is coming here, you know, to do a launch on. So we are talking about employment opportunities being opened. That cannot happen then and there, because then, like I explained, if a policy is formulated, it takes a bit of some time for it to be actualized. So when the mines open, they will have ample time to start recruiting, and our people are going to get jobs in these mines. You know, development is a marathon. It does not happen on a single day. You need to plan for it, and the president has planned this whole thing nicely.
Okay.
He has done this in 5 years. Something that our friends failed to do in the 10 years that they were given by the Zambian people to be able to provide, you know, that particular leadership which the country was lacking. Today we are benefiting, and I think and feel on those points that I've mentioned, we really need to thank the president for his vision, and I'm calling upon all the Kitwe residents and Zambians at large to be able to give him support so that come 2026, we vote him back into State House so that he can finish, you know, these programs and make sure that Zambians live a dignified life.
Okay.
Like I've explained, the precedent has been set. We have talked about all these developments which the president has done, and we are going to make sure that we rally behind him, support him, so that that vision is actualized and make Zambia greater than what it was in 1964.
Wow, that's great. Honorable Macmillan Imbao, Councillor Rokana Ward in Nkana constituency. So beautifully explained, clear, and to the point. Honorable Mbao, I want to thank you so much for your time. It's not easy considering your busy schedules. I think we'll be talking more on different topics. I'll be bringing as much as possible to your fore so that we dig deeper and share with the public.
Yeah, really, you know, you people are playing a critical role into spreading the message out there. You have seen, I think, opposition party leaders are coming on board saying that the president has failed. There's construction of the Lusaka Ndola, Dio Carriageway. They are not seeing that. They're able to see that. So we don't have we are the ones who put a problem. Why? Because then we are not spreading this news. We are not spreading this message for the people to understand and know what the president has done.
Sure.
So these such forums are encouraged, and I really want to thank you for your time, you know, that you've given me to be able to explain a few things that we've been able to explain here. And I'm admonishing you that moving forward, let us engage and make sure that we meet, you know, like the way we've met today, to be able to have documentaries that will be able to explain on the achievements which the UPND government has made within the period of 5 years that our friends failed to do in the 10 years period that we were given. Now they want to come back, you know, and you want to do that you did not do the time that you had. So this is what the Zambian people should be asking. You cannot you know, vote someone out and then they come back and say, can you vote for us again? They ask them the time that you had, what is it that you did, you know, for the Zambian people? Because the votes which HH got, you know, 2 million plus votes that the president got, goes to show that the Zambian people didn't have confidence in them. And the Zambian people still have confidence in the head of state, because we are diversifying the energy sector. Yeah, load shedding really hit us bad. But all we are saying is that the president has diversified. He was recently launching another solar power plant that has been built. So that goes to show that he's very much committed to diversify the energy sector from being dependent on the hydroelectric generated power to solar, such that even if there's no water, we should be able to run the economy. We should be able to have power. The barber man, the saloon, those people should be able, to do their business 24/7. And now we are diversifying. We are changing. We are transiting from a single 8-hour economy to a 24/7, our economy. And coming on board of the solar power plants is really going to help, and it's really going to go a long way into making sure that our people maximize on their profit, as they have all the time whatsoever to be able to do their business and make profit for their business, because the economy is running 24/7.
Okay, thank you.